Hurt in a car? Call our sponsor, William Mattar. 844-444-4444. With a focus on motor vehicle accidents, the team at William Mattar has handled thousands of cases like yours. Let them help you get the money you deserve after a motor vehicle accident. Rideshare, truck, motorcycle, car, only call William Mattar. 844-444-4444. Welcome back to another episode of the Sabre Report podcast. My name is Jonah.
And I'm JP.
And I wanna read you just something quickly. All you gotta do is just go over and look at the NHL standings. Without looking, do you think the Sabres are closer to a playoff spot or closer to last place in the NHL?
I would say last place, but I have a feeling you're going to say playoffs.
You would be correct that they're closer to last place. They are 4 points out of last place in the entire league. They are 5 points out of a playoff spot right now. Now that could change. Ottawa's playing tonight. They're currently losing to the Dallas Stars. So if they were to win that and jump up to 30, I think. I'm trying to see, would that push? No, that wouldn't really change much because the wild card team would still have, wild card 2 would still have 29 points. So yeah, the only thing that would have changed that was if the Islanders won earlier today. So the Sabres are 5 points out of a spot, 4 points out of last place. That doesn't tell you what it feels like right now to be watching this team, then I don't know what does. I mean it feels like maybe not every time, but a few times in the last few weeks they've had one of those weeks where you're ready to jump off the bandwagon fully. Like think about the lengthened losing streak from a few weeks back, but then they end the week with the huge comeback win of Detroit, and it totally shifts the conversation. I feel like that's kind of what we witnessed this week.
Yeah, they're just stuck in the middle here. They're just stuck in a place where I don't think they're bad enough to be like a tanking team, but they're not winning enough games to be deservingly in a playoff spot. Now, I did not say that they're not playing good enough to not be in a playoff spot because, like, I actually thought they played 3 good games this week. Like, they obviously only won one of them. One of them they lost 5-0, but I thought they were the better team in all 3 games, and I don't think that's crazy to say.
As a person firmly on the all goalies are bad bus, that it was a good week for us. I think firmly, you were on the way to saying that all 3 games they lost because of their goaltender. Obviously they get shut out in one of those games. You got to score a goal at some point, obviously. But yeah, I mean the Pittsburgh game should have gone very differently. I mean, they were kind of sleepwalking through the first period and probably the first half of the second period. Then they took things over, clawed, and fought their way to getting a goal in the third. The momentum was all theirs. And then, yeah, immediately giving up a goal, a weak goal at that. And then, that game kind of slipping through their fingers. And then the New Jersey game where, yeah, they controlled possession. Did they get grade A chances? Not really, but they still definitely probably had the most possession time in that game. And then, yeah, going to Minnesota in the second half of a back-to-back and basically outplay them for at least 2 out of 3 periods. They were the better team in the second and third, and even the first period. You could probably make the argument they were the better team.
Yeah, I mean, this week they beat a goalie cleanly, twice in Pittsburgh? Because both Minnesota's goals, it was just a deflection and an own goal, basically. So, I mean, honestly, this week was...
You could put in, you could bring the total up to 5 if you want to throw in the shootout.
Shootout, yeah, I wasn't counting that. This week, honestly, comes down to I think they played good. They were the better team, I think, in all 3 games. They outshot each combined this week. They outshot their opponent 105-66. It just comes down to finishing. Um, Obviously, we got shut out 5-0 in a game where we had 42 shots, um, and then just mediocre to poor goaltending. I mean, Lyon obviously had a very rough game against against New Jersey. He played rough, but somewhat in his defense, it was his first game in like 3 weeks. It doesn't excuse his poor play, but it's like, what are we doing with this 3 goalie situation? No goalie's probably gonna play good if they're just sitting on the bench for 3 weeks. And even Lyon last night, I mean, I thought his 2 goals were probably weak, but after that, I mean, he was pretty good. He looked very bad in the shootout, but
He
in
was,
the
yeah.
game, I mean, he saved probably, I don't
He
know,
got beat.
15
He
of the last 15 shots.
every single deke that he got basically scored on, and then
Yeah.
Tarasenko just missed the net.
Yeah. So it was just mediocre to poor goaltending, and for whatever reason, we just could not finish this week. And honestly, we had a lot of shots, but we really didn't have that many grade A opportunities. It was a lot of point shots, a lot of perimeter stuff. We might just be turning into the Carolina Hurricanes Corsi Kings
Oh,
because
God, I know.
we are literally just
What
a
was
volume shooting
the
team
deserve
right
to
now.
win meter? I think was at like 80% on Friday.
Yeah, we haven't. I was looking right before the pod. On November 15th, our expected goals differential, we were at a minus 1.3. Since then, as of today, we're at a positive 5.827. So over these last 2 weeks, we've won the expected goal differential every single game. We've won the deserve to win meter every single game. But I mean, how many goals have we really scored? I mean, I guess the week
It's
before
funny to
we had
talk
9
about,
against Chicago, but this last week it was just we scored 2 goals basically.
I know it's funny to talk about finishing luck when you got all the finishing luck in the world last night. You
Yeah.
didn't even score a goal off your stick, but yeah, I mean, looking at Evolving Hockey, their expected goal share for the season is at 51.35. That's 12th best in hockey right now.
Yeah,
You know,
I
that's
think
above
Jay-
above LA. That's above the Stars. Like,
I think Money Puck has them at 8th, and I think Jay Fresh had them at 8th too. So they're like a top half the league sort of team, at least expected goal differential. It's just for
At
whatever reason
5v5,
they're
yeah.
having at 5v5, obviously because their power play blows. But for whatever reason they're just having finishing problems. And it's
yeah,
just it's weird. When you have Tage Thompson, you probably should never have like below finishing issues, but I mean, then again, you got players like Benson. You got a bunch of guys who just don't really have this scoring touch. Your really only true sniper on the team is Tage.
yeah, which I think is something we did kind of touch on at the beginning of the year. You know, this is a different team than years past. You traded, I mean, a prime example is JJ Peterka, who had the single highest 5v5 shooting percentage in the stat tracking era, which is since 2007. I mean, that's a huge, huge finisher on your team just being removed from the roster. And as good as Josh Doan has been, it's more a compliment to him that as good as he's been and that he's been able to pretty much match Peterka's point total this season, that he should be scoring more, and he's not. And you just think about players from year past. You know, Casey Middlestat was a big driver in having pucks go in the net when he was on the ice. Obviously, somebody like Victor Olofsson was big in that, and then Jeff Skinner, and you know, Alex Tuch has not had the goal scoring touch as much this year, even though I think is he still leading the team in points right now?
Yeah, he is. He's at 22 points in 25 games. So I mean, we don't even have a guy at a point per game. With Tage Thompson and Alex Tuch, like it's kind of the production is just down across the board. I mean, I'm even looking at shooting percentages. Like no one's high. Like the only person above 15% shooting percentage is Jason Zucker. I mean, Rosane has a 25%, but obviously limited playing time. Oslin is at just over 15%, but he doesn't really shoot the puck that much. Like, it's literally, it's just either it's unlucky or they're just not getting the best opportunities right now. And I really think it's just their volume shooting.
Well, we touched on it a few weeks back when we were having the power conversation, how every year in his career he's had an on ice shooting percentage no less than 10%. And I think it's gone up a little bit because I want to say when we touched on it then he was at like 6%, but he's only at 8.4 right now. So even that's a guy who was huge in driving goals actually going in the net when he was on the ice, and it's just not at the same level it's been in years past. It's interesting. This is a different team. It's very different. Now, is it translating to wins? Is it something you should be excited for? It remains to be seen. I mean, you said the Sabres are kind of stuck in the middle, and I think it's not a totally inappropriate way to put it, but at the same time, they're last in the East. They're the only team below 500. They're just so strange, man. They are so weird. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I mean, you watched the Pittsburgh game, which was probably one of the more frustrating losses of the season. And the New Jersey game, they just kind of got beat by a better team and with a goaltender that was rusty. And then on Saturday they go in second half of a back-to-back with travel and go in and beat the hottest team in hockey who had rattled off 7 straight and is sitting at 5th best in the NHL right now. I think it was probably higher before last night. Just so goddamn weird, man. So weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's with how they're playing right now, it's really up to how any individual wants to perceive it. Like, I feel like I'm feeling pretty good about them because I feel like they're driving play. They've been the better team. They're just having a finishing issue, which hopefully that can overturn. But then again, they're still not winning games. I mean, I thought they were the better team probably maybe 7 or 8 of 9 periods they played this week, not counting overtime. And they went 1 and 2. They only got 2 points. So they're in a weird spot where I think they're playing good, but it's not really converting to wins. And that definitely needs to change this month. And you tweeted this. I mean, it's obviously been talked about. We don't have a road win in regulation, and it's now December, and we have a 6-game road stretch coming up. So if that remains, we are going to be even further down in the standings by the end of this road streak.
I told myself last night, I was like, I should definitely check to see what's the longest they've ever gone without a regulation win on the road. I never did, but yeah, pretty important stretch coming up. You know, you've got Winnipeg at home, which is a game you should win, but Philly's been playing good hockey this season. That's on the road. You go to Winnipeg after that. Then you're in Calgary, then Edmonton, then Vancouver, then Seattle. It's like at a distance, how many of those teams are really a threat now that I'm really looking at it? I mean, Philadelphia, better team than the Sabres right now, but like Winnipeg, very Connor Hellebuck-centric team.
Who's
Calgary, and Hellebuck's hurt?
Yeah, he's been out for a while. You know
Man,
that?
I guess I did not realize
He was
that.
placed on the IR. Well, obviously we're playing them, so it was in my weekly preview. He hasn't played since November 15th, and he's expected to come back in January.
Huh. I guess I did totally miss that. I'm actually impressed with them. They're 13-11. I guess maybe they picked up their play. I know, like, to start the season they had some stupidly bad 5v5 numbers. Like, they were getting crushed. I guess I can look at that right now. But Winnipeg, like I said, probably a winnable game. Calgary, very winnable game. Edmonton, pretty winnable game. Vancouver, pretty winnable game. And then Seattle, pretty winnable game. But they're all on the road. And like you said, no regulation wins entering December on the road. I mean, that's insane. And you're only at 2 on the season.
Yeah, that has to turn around. They have to start converting these into wins. I don't know. It's not. It's just unacceptable. I mean, they've played 25 games and they don't have a regulation road win. Like that's. I don't. I think it would take you long to actually figure out what's the Sabres' longest streak with that. But I would put my money on it. This is at least top 3 of all time. Like this is ridiculous.
All right. Where do we want to start? We can go kind of storyline by storyline here. Should we just jump right into the goaltending situation? I feel like above all the things, you're kind of in a weird spot with the team right now. It's really not. Like I said, like everybody's kind of a lot of pressure, a lot of weight was taken off their back just because of that. It was a good win. It was good. It was a really great win in Minnesota. Outplaying them. Noah Ostlund gets the shootout winner with a disgusting move. And, it was a hard-fought win. But, as with every episode, it feels like this season, we need to talk about the goaltenders. And we did, briefly touch on them so far. But, I feel like we're kind of reaching we're reaching the point where this cannot. The runway is almost gone.
We're reaching the point where the head coach is basically calling out the GM for having 3 goalies.
Yeah, which is probably never a great sign. And shortly before that, it was Luukkonen calling out, the GM and the coach, I guess, in a sense, saying that he plays better when he plays, more often. And we saw last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, this is, they had to make the decision to send Isaac Rosén down to bring back Jordan Greenway. That's a whole other can of worms, but that's the decision they made. And Rosén would probably not only still be on this roster, but probably still be in the lineup had they had a spot for him. But it's one of their handful of players that are not waiver eligible and can slide through waivers without being picked up. And, those spots are only going to continue to dry up as we go along here. Josh Norris will be back any day now, and then he's going to need to come off of IR. Danforth will be back at some point. Maybe Yuri Kulik will be back at some point. Kesselring. And before it was acceptable with the Rosén. I mean, I wouldn't call it acceptable with the Rosén thing, but it wasn't so bad that you kind of just throw your hands up because the goaltending wasn't killing you. Luukkonen had like a decent stretch, and Ellis you felt like was giving you some good games here and there, and maybe Lyon had kind of tailed off, but he started the season as a monster. But now this is the first week where you can comfortably say you're starting to see the effects of this. Luukkonen cost you probably a point in Pittsburgh at the very least, and Lyon didn't cost you anything on Friday, but I mean that was a pretty rough performance. What was it, 5 goals on 23 shots?
Yep.
I mean that's rough no matter how you slice it. And Ellis had a rough first period. I thought the first goal, I guess it was more of a cross crease, but the second goal probably want to save there. I'm rambling on to say that this is something that they need to make a decision on soon because it's going to start affecting their roster. They don't have unlimited spots. If they want Josh Norris, Danforth, Kesselring, and Kulik and whoever back in the lineup, they need to make room for roster spots, and having another goaltender on that roster is going to make that much more difficult.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing if all 3 goaltenders were playing good and they're making it tough for you to make a decision, but all 3 are just playing fine or like not good. Like they don't have anybody that's sticking out, that's earning that starting job. They're all just basically playing at they're all basically below replacement level goalies right now. I mean, if you're looking just at save percentage, Lyon 899, UPL 891, Ellis 898. If you look at money puck, goals saved above expected, UPL and Lion are 51st and 52nd in the league. Colton Ellis is 60th. They're just all right around each other. No one's really better than the other, at least with how they've been playing recently. So I just make a decision. I at this point I don't even care who it is, whether they waive Ellis or they trade one of the three goalies. Like I don't know. You have to make some sort of decision because I think the longer you go on with this, the longer you're going to get worse goaltending because there's no rhythm to any of this. It is crazy that it's really a three goalie rotation right now. It's not even like Lindy's. I mean, he's playing the hot hand. It's basically if you win, you're going to play again. But then if not, oh, it goes to the next guy in the rotation. They're not going back and forth at all. It's truly all three of them are playing, and it's just you can't really blame Lindy if it's out of his control for doing this, for getting all three goalies in, but it's certainly not working.
I pulled up the numbers from when Colton Ellis made his NHL debut back on October 23rd. Since that point, Luukkonen's played 7 games, Ellis has played 5 games, and Lyon has also played 7 games. What do you think? Who do you think has the best numbers during that stretch? So it's about, it's been a little bit over a month now.
I mean, Lyon has to be the worst, I would imagine.
You would be correct. It's not by
Yeah.
much, but yes, you would be correct.
Honestly, I might. Both UP and Ellis have been so inconsistent. It's like they'll have a great game, then a very bad game. I'm honestly gonna say UPL probably is the best numbers because Ellis had like one really bad game, so I think brings his numbers down a
He
lot.
does, and it's by a little bit of a gap. So since October 23rd, Luukkonen he's basically break even, minus .46 goals saved above expected. Ellis and Lyon are within .02 of each other. Both are at about -3 goals saved above expected. So subpar results for about a month now. Not killing your team, not so far. None of them are close to double digits, but it's starting to dwindle, and the results are not good enough to justify keeping all three up at once. And they're not bad enough to justify, just throwing a new guy in there every time because they have no better option. It's enough. It's enough. I hate it. I've hated it. I knew from the moment they were doing it, I was going to be sick of it. And I said, the only time this ever works is if it's not a 3-man rotation. Like JP said, are doing a tried and true 3-goalie rotation now. It is a merry-go-round, it's next guy up mentality. And no momentum is being built, and Lundy has no guy to rely upon. And we're at the point where Alex Lyon went 2 weeks before playing a full hockey game, which is absurd. And that was your best goalie. So it's enough.
This true goalie rotation has been happening for almost a month now. It was November 6th. Because for a while there, it was kind of just Lyon and Luukkonen switching every few games because that's when I was complaining that Ellis wasn't playing at all. But since November 6th, it was Luukkonen, loss, Lyon, loss, Ellis, loss, Luukkonen, loss, Ellis, and Ellis won the first 2, lost the last one. Then UPL won 2 in a row, lost the third one. Then it was Lyon, then Ellis. If you're winning,
it's a mess.
You're going to keep playing.
It's a mess, and I'm not saying that's even the worst. I mean, I do kind of think that's the worst way to handle that. I've always said it. The only scenario I personally think this ever works is if it's a 2-goalie rotation for the backup position. You need a starting goaltender for this to work. Otherwise, nobody's playing consistently enough to get into a rhythm and give you consecutive good starts. And I mean, just look at what happened to Alex Lyon. I mean, did he look like a confident goaltender out there on Friday? No, he looked like a guy that hadn't played a game since getting pulled in Colorado 5 minutes into the game.
Yeah. I want to do some of my own research, but I didn't end up getting to it. I wonder how long the Sabres under Kevin Adams, like how many days or how many games we've had a true 3 or even 4 goalie rotation. because I would imagine it's over, like, if you're counting days, like over a year cumulatively. Like, it's just every time this happens, Kevin Adams will say, it's not ideal. This isn't what we want, but he still goes back to it and he does it. And it's not out of, he's not choosing to do it, I guess. Like it's
I
kind
would
of,
say he kind of like my prediction is it's probably not as many days as you think because the last 2 years they've like gamed the system. Like last year, did they have a 3 goalie rotation? No. And the year before, no, not really. But they were calling up Levi to start random games at various points. I mean, they dragged him out to Vancouver 2 years ago to have him start a game instead of Eric Comrie. I think like that would be tough to calculate because of reasons like that.
True.
But yeah, I mean it's been ridiculous. They've been doing this forever, and this year it's not even with Levi. It's not even trying to force feed him starts. Now they just have no idea what to do or who to trust.
Yeah, it's once Kevin Adams is not the GM next year. One of the things we will look back on will be he loved, or he was almost forced to do these 3 goalie rotations all the time. It's just ridiculous. Make a damn decision. It probably doesn't matter which of the 3 you actually make a decision on, but you have to do something because, like you said, people are going to be getting healthy, and the goaltending is been below par because of the goalie rotation.
Tomorrow morning, which is Monday. Let's say you're the GM. You're sitting in your office, and you hear in the distance, you hear a phone ringing. You walk over, you pick up the phone, and who's calling you but Stan Bowman of the Edmonton Oilers. He wants a goalie. He doesn't care which one it is. He wants a goalie, and the prices will be different depending on the guy. Which goalie are you offering up first as the guy to get off the team?
It's tough.
It's a cutthroat business.
Well, I know. Like I'm saying, Kevin Adams make a decision.
Are you saying it's tough to make trades?
It's not an easy one. Well, I think where mine goes to right away is if we're thinking about strictly this year, it should probably be Ellis or Lyon. You'd probably lean towards Ellis just because of how good Lyon played in the beginning of the year. But if you're thinking like past this year, I think it should be UPL because has proven to be a below average goaltender, and he's the one you have 3 more years left on a contract, paying at $4 million.
And so he was also spotted having fun one night.
Oh yeah, that
can't have that.
No, that's unacceptable on Thanksgiving Eve when
despicable.
When a lot of people in their 20s go out.
I did laugh a lot when I saw it. It's just hopped off the team bus and just went straight to 40 Thieves. It's funny. I don't care. it is funny. It's very funny.
But we were out that night, and I think one of my friends said to me, it was like, if you had a really shitty day at work, sitting at a desk all day, would it be so bad to go have a few drinks and go out and, blow off some steam? That's basically what UPL did. He had a rough night. Yeah. He wanted to get a few drinks in his system and forget about it. There's nothing wrong with that.
But then, one of your customers took a video and said this guy's service was shitty earlier, and now he's getting drinks. The audacity. The audacity. Yeah, loser stuff there. Funny, but loser posting.
Yeah.
All right, I'll throw out some hypothetical prices. Let's say we do the trade that, or we
honestly, with how difficult a decision I feel like it actually is, because no one's better than the other. Just the best decision might just to be whoever gets you the best return, take it. That might be the best decision.
I guess that's fair.
I mean, no matter what, it's probably going to be a draft pick. Like it's not going to be anything crazy. Like maybe a second for UPL, maybe a third or fourth for Lyon, and maybe a fifth or a sixth for Ellis. Like it's not going to be anything crazy.
Yeah. Let's But just for the fun of it, let's say Luukkonen, for Luukkonen, you get a conditional second-round pick. I don't know, condition that he plays a game in the conference finals this year or something like that. Otherwise, it's a third. Let's say it's a straight-up third-round pick for Alex Lyon, and let's say it's a fourth-round pick for Colton Ellis.
Probably just doing UPL. I mean, all of those are pretty close. Like, I don't. It's a tough decision either way because I mean it's just draft picks at the end of the day, but I don't know. It's tough. No one's playing good, so whatever decision you make, I think is fine and won't really affect the team. But at least two of the goalies have more of a proven track record in the NHL. Like that's one of the other arguments. Obviously, this is Ellis's first time up in the NHL. I don't know. It's a difficult decision. It's maybe more difficult than I thought, but it's still a decision that has to be made, and that's what Kevin Adams paid to do.
All right,
even Yarmo now.
I'm gonna take Luukkonen out of this conversation because I feel like he's just such a touchy subject. Let's say I don't know. Let's say he gets. Let's just say the Sabres don't want to do it, or your price is too high for Edmonton. For that, I'm just basing that. I don't know. Probably some people are mad. I'm sure Christian, if you're listening, who's not here again today, is probably he would dump Luukkonen off for anything. Let's just say for whatever reason he's not being moved. Let's nail this decision down to Colton Ellis and Alex Lyon. You can trade Lyon for a third. You can trade Ellis for a fourth. Which one are you doing?
Lyon.
You think the third? You think the third is worth it? You're confident Ellis can do what Lyon can do?
Well, I think if they don't want to trade UPL, you kind of just commit to him being your starter, and then it's whoever you want as your backup. That's what I feel. I mean, if you keep Lyon, of course it could be more 1A, 1B. If you keep Ellis, then it's like UPL's your starter, and Ellis gets spots in, once every 4 or 5 games. That's how I feel like it should go, ideally, if UPL's truly going to be your starter. And I don't know which situation's better. What would you rather have UPL playing a bunch of games and seeing if he could get hot, or would you rather have him and Lyon just basically split the crease, which was envisioned going into the season basically. It was supposed to be basically a 1A, 1B.
It's a fair assessment. I don't know what I would. I'm me. I've always tried to calm because people immediately got high on Ellis. I think he had a great NHL debut and he looked good in the games after. But obviously he's had a few rough starts now. At least Calgary was a really rough one.
It was really just Calgary.
Yeah,
that one brought down all of his statistics. Other than that, I mean, I know he finished below expected last game, but barely. It's really just a Calgary game. Looking at it, I mean, Detroit.
Well, he wasn't great in Detroit.
Yeah, I don't.
The Sabres kind of
exactly.
just took that one over.
Utah, he let up 5.
Yeah. Yeah, Utah in the third period was pretty rough, let in a goal from below the goal line.
Yeah, because
I just think I've been saying this. Yeah, I've just been saying he's just a guy. He's Eric Comrie, but better. I think he's a backup. I think he's a backup goalie. So I think it's who do you would you rather have that at a low cost, or would you rid yourself of Lyon for a higher pick? I guess it's tough. I don't know. Either way, just make a call. Like I said, I would probably just. What I would do this week, I know I set up the situation as, as Stan Bowman calls you tomorrow, but I think I would use this week to really get a handle on Ellis before I'm making that decision, finally, or I guess I'm giving him this little stretch until, because I think, Norris coming back, they can probably get away with, it's going to annoy me, but I think they'll probably just send down Josh Dunn and have, kind of rid their hands of that. But I guess when a Danforth comes back, or if Kulik makes a quicker recovery than expected. That's that's the one where they have a tough decision. They either send down Noah Ostlund or Tyson Kozak, most likely, or they can get rid of one of the goalies. That's probably the stretch you're looking for then.
He's
So I would
definitely playing Monday, so
yeah.
they just ride the goalie that wins. So I guess you see how he plays Monday, and you keep going on with it, because at the end of the day, you're probably only waiving Ellis. Like, you're not gonna just outright waive UPL. You're probably not gonna do that to Lyon either. So the easiest decision is still to waive Ellis, but what we haven't
He's not
brought
getting
up
through.
Well, he's obviously not getting through.
Yeah.
So you're losing
Mhm.
him. That's one of the things. But what we haven't brought up is that Terry Bagula would be paying for his housing ticket wherever he goes. That's something else you got to consider.
That is true. And I think Friedman says that they're set on 32 Thoughts that Buffalo does really like him. So I guess you can kind of read between the lines on that, maybe a little. Like, what, Drager came out and said the price for Luukkonen would be high. Friedman says they really like Ellis. Lyon went a long time between starts. Didn't have a good return start. Is that the decision they're gonna make? Are they just gonna get rid of? Are they gonna try and sneak Lyon through waivers? Maybe because he's kind of expensive. He's only making 1.5, but Colton Ellis is on like a minimum contract, I think. So maybe.
I think if you waive any three of them, they're going to be claimed by someone.
Well, I don't think Luukkonen would get waived, or I don't think anybody would pick. Nobody picks up waiver claims that expensive ever.
I guess that's fair, but it's very rare that actually happens, that you waive someone who's that expensive.
Yeah,
I
just think they probably think he's above that or something.
Yeah. Honestly, if anyone in the league, I know we keep saying the Oilers because obviously their goaltending has been struggling for years now. If anybody in the league calls about anybody in your goaltending trio right now, I think you just take it.
Probably. I think there are other teams looking. Is St. Louis still near the bottom? Probably, right? I think they're still kind of close to the stand. I'm trying to see here. I don't know. Just looking at team save percentages. Oilers are dead last. Predators are number 2. Then Utah. Detroit, maybe. Yeah, Detroit's had some rough goaltending. Montreal, Toronto, then the Blues, and then the Sabres. So, I mean, yeah, that's a list of teams that could use some help or take a flyer on somebody. So, yeah, I think Lyon would get waived. I just maybe wondered, just because it's mid-season and teams hate adding salary for nothing in season early in the year. So, just wanted to bring that up. So, I don't know. They got to make a decision. It's enough. It really is enough. If Noah Ostlund goes to Rochester before they trade a goalie, that will be an incredibly infuriatingly bad move. Born out of, I don't know, stubbornness, laziness, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. And hey, if this isn't why they have 3 goalies, but if they trade one of them or waive one of them, and someone gets hurt, then you have Levi. Like
you have Levi.
He doesn't have much to prove down there. He's not playing the best, but you could at least give him another chance. Like, you still have basically 4 goaltenders who can play NHL games in the organization right now.
Yeah, I mean, James Reimer got signed to a PTO earlier this year, so like there's just goalies you can always go out and grab. I mean, sure, you lost Georgiev to Russia, but whatever. There's plenty of goalies to find, and you've still got, like, even Tobias Lehtonen is getting a decent amount of games for Rochester. Even my GOAT, Scott Ratzlaff, has a 939 in the ECHL. Screw development. Bring him up if you want to. All right. Well, we talked about the goalies, how that is going to have some ramifications based on injury. But speaking of injuries, if you're hurt in a car, you can call our sponsor, William Mattar. 844-444-4444. With a focus on motor vehicle accidents, the team at William Mattar has handled thousands of cases like yours. Let them help you get the money you deserve after a motor vehicle accident. Rideshare, truck, motorcycle, car, only. Call William Mattar. 844-444-4444. Josh Norris did not return this weekend. And it was an interesting timeline, I would say. I want to go back and maybe check out the tweet relatively quickly, because before they left for Pittsburgh, I think, was it? Or was it? I want to see what day of the week it was. Because he practiced. He practiced with the team, took line rushes with Zach Benson and Noah Osland. Yeah, this was the 25th, which was Tuesday. So before the Pittsburgh game on Tuesday, Josh Norris was taking regular line rushes with two players in Benson and Osland, who are regular lineup players, and was also on the first power play unit. Seems like a guy that would get a game in the next 5 days, given the team played in 3. But he did not. And the team hasn't said it, but I did think it was an interesting timeline. Do you think there was a bit of a setback there?
I hope not, but with him not playing, I mean,
I get not playing him Saturday.
Interpretation.
I get not playing him Saturday. Second half of back-to-back with travel. It's not in your home arena.
Well,
but
see, when he was initially not playing Friday, I thought, okay, they're bringing in fresh legs for a back-to-back on Saturday. So I kind of saw it both ways. You could have played him either game. But with him not playing either, it definitely does, I guess, raise an eyebrow at the very least until we hear otherwise.
Me too. I think it's maybe, I don't think it was a big setback. A, they would have told us. B, I think the lineup on Saturday said a lot. Tyson Kozak as your first line center. Interesting decision. I don't think that was a decision made with long-term plans in mind. Given he was between Zach Benson and Tage Thompson, it seems like they're just trying to reunite the trio from opening night whenever Josh Norris does get back. So conceivably, you would think Norris makes his debut tomorrow or today, whenever you're listening to this episode. So he should be back, but like I said, the timeline a little interesting. If he was maybe a little bit sore afterwards or something along those lines.
And it is also the last home game of our next 7 games.
Was it for the entire month or along those lines? When do they get back?
No, they get
the 18th. Okay, so 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. So you would imagine if it would. I feel like if he's going to get into a game, it would be at home for his first game back. But, I mean, who knows? But, yeah, I would imagine he, at the very least, is hopefully back this week unless he actually had a major setback. But, like you said, with moving Tage to the wing.
Oh, man.
I think that speaks values on to Norris.
Let's talk about. I don't think we give Lindy Ruff a lot of flack. For good reason. I don't think a lot of what he does is necessarily bad. I mean, we're going to talk about another lineup decision on the defensive side of things that has been pretty bad, that he has not broken up. But for the most part this year, it's been pretty decent on the forward side of things. I mean, when Greenway got back into the lineup and was playing on the first line, that was a little odd. But much like last year, how he immediately started pumping the tires of Yuri Kulik, playing him up in the lineup, Tyson Kozak became a lineup regular. He's been good with playing a lot of the young guys, and I think Noah Osland has been a big example of that. And
fourth option in the shootout,
a lot of confidence.
He trusts Osland. I feel like.
And given Roseanne was getting top 6 minutes, I think that was more. It was more of a roster decision that he went down, made from the GM. The lineup decisions have been pretty decent this year. Tage at center was one thing when the season started that annoyed us a lot. But I guess you understood they were trying to establish Josh Norris and him being a duo and trying to create a first-line trio that actually looked like a first line. So I guess you kind of put it to the side, and it didn't even last a full game. Or I guess it didn't even play together because Zach Benson almost got his eye poked out before the home opener. So they never even got a game together, but they look good in the preseason. But as soon as Norris went out and Kulik went out, they were still playing Tage on the wing, and his production was not there. He did not look like the same guy. And you just thought, can we please put like their only viable top 6 center option back at center? Besides my GOAT, Ryan
I was
McLeod.
going to say, I'm surprised you're saying that. Besides him. And they finally did. And wouldn't you know it, he looks like Tage again. He has the longest goal-scoring streak by a Sabre since 2007. Yes, that 2007. And within a week later, he's moved back to the wing. Like, why? Why, Tyson
Lindy?
Kozak.
For Tyson Kozak, like, why couldn't you wait a game? Or why couldn't you give the spot to even... I mean, that's a whole other thing. Why couldn't you give the spot to, like, Noah Ostlund or Ryan McLeod or even... I almost said, or even Peyton Krebs. But, like, why is Tyson Kozak your choice there? Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious. You're just warming the spot for Josh Norris. But why? Why? Why are we immediately going back to that?
Frustrating decision.
It's dumb. It's a dumb decision.
Yeah. We do not, as a fan base, I don't think criticize Lindy almost at all. I would honestly argue enough. We don't criticize him enough for some of his decisions. And this is definitely one of them where I don't get it. And even so, it's like, if right now, he clearly just likes the second and third line. So he didn't want to.
But they were new lines. They were new lines. Wasn't Ostlund with Doan and Tuck? Or with, didn't they not switch them? Am I misremembering? I could have sworn Ostlund was with Tuck.
That line I guess was different because of what they did with the top line. But I think
this was
McLeod, Zucker, and
Quinn stayed the same.
Quinn.
So
they've been together for a few games now.
Yeah, so they put Ostlund in Tage's spot. He was between Doan and Tuck, and then just put Thompson with Kozak and Benson. But Kozak was playing wing previously, and so they just decided to move. They moved him to center and moved Tage to the wing. So they did change 2 of the lines. I mean, the only third line that stayed, or the only line that stayed the same was the McLeod line.
I guess so. What frustrates me most about this is it's pretty clear once Norris is back, he's going to be at the top line center, whether that's the best decision or not. But Tyson Kozak is not a top 9 player. He's a 4th line player. He's, in my eyes, pretty equivalent to Krebs. Why? Like, there's no reason to have Isaac Roseanne down if you're going to play him in the top 6 or on the top line. Like, you could have very easily had Tage Thompson stay at center for that game, have Benson and Roseanne on his wings. Very easily. That's what frustrates me the most. And especially when this week I said our 2 problems was goaltending and finishing. Finishing is one of our big problems, and Roseanne has 7 points in 10 games up with the Sabres, and you sending him down. It pretty much correlates to when Roseanne got sent down, their offensive production went down again. There's just no reason to have Kozak on the top line when you have someone like Roseanne down there. I mean, you don't have any reason to have Kozak on the top line, no matter what's going on. To be honest, like, it's just, even if maybe Norris was like literally like a daytime scratch, like maybe before the game he was like, yeah, you know what, I'm not feeling the best, and they already had all the other lines set. But it's like, Tage has been at center the last few weeks. There's no reason to not have him at center when you're putting a 4th line center in a spot. It's inexcusable.
It makes your lineup
decision.
worse.
Yeah.
It makes your lineup worse. And to do that for Josh Norris, who, okay, look, I know I give him a lot of flack. I might be one of his biggest, doubters in the community, but why is a guy who has not played hockey in 2 months and has not completed a series of 3 games in in March? Like, why is that guy immediately? Well, I mean, I guess the preseason, but like, why is that guy immediately going back to first line minutes and power play 1 minutes? Why? They had a perfectly good, like power play's fine because you're not moving a ton, and like if that was the only thing, whatever. Not like the power play's good anyways. Got to switch something up, but he was lined up with Benson and Oslin at practice on that Tuesday, and that's like maybe the best constructed line for him. That's been something I've been on since the offseason, where they were not constructing an environment for Norris to succeed because Zach Benson was your only perceived playmaker heading into the season. Now, they did play Norris with him off the jump, but other than him, you don't have players that can go and get pucks and give them to him. And Oslin is one of those guys that can now do that, and putting him with Benson, it's a good way to insulate him slowly back into the lineup. And now, from the outside, it kind of looks like you might throw that away. Which, look, they have not said Josh Norris is going to play there. He might line up for warm-ups, or he might line up for the morning skate tomorrow, or he might line up for warm-ups tomorrow and be back in that position. But then that just makes the decision Saturday even weirder. It's like, why else would you throw Kozak in that top-line spot? Why else would you do that? It makes no sense. It's very dumb, and it's Josh Norris coming back is it's a broad statement, but Josh Norris is making your lineup worse just by being back because Tage Thompson is no longer playing center. Which, mind you, 3 weeks ago, did we forget Thompson literally says he prefers to play center?
Mm-hmm.
Are we
after the first game back?
Yeah, like I know players shouldn't dictate decisions. That's why you have coaches, but he likes playing there better. He was playing better there. Why switch it back after 2 games of being quiet? Like, you never changed the combos. Friday and Wednesday he was with Doan and Tuck, and I think Benson got thrown up there with those two for the third period in Pittsburgh, but you didn't change the combo. You just threw Tage back on the wing. You didn't even give it a chance for a second chance.
Was that projected, or I guess it was just practice lines that came out Tuesday before Pittsburgh?
Yes.
Was that like actually our best lineup we've seen, at least this year? I mean, I think that was the best constructed lineup. I'm looking at it right now. Top line, Doan, Thompson, Tuck. You could say the second line was Zucker, McLeod, Quinn, because they've been pretty good together. And then third line was Benson, Norris, Oslin. And then you'd Krebs, Kozak, Malenstein. You probably want Dunn in there, to be honest. But I feel like when I looked at that lineup, and I think when a lot of other people looked at it, they were like, oh, this is pretty good. Like, if we get healthy and this is what we go with, like, those are 3 pretty solid lines. Fourth line's been really good recently. Like, I don't know. I liked how that lineup looked, and I thought it was actually utilizing everybody's skill with each other. I mean, you got Tage and Thompson, you got Tage and Tuck, your 2 best players playing together. Then you got Norris surrounded by 2 playmakers, and that McLeod, Zucker, and Quinn line's been good. Like, I really like that lineup, and for whatever reason, they're not even giving it a chance. It's just weird that they practice with it, but now coming into a game, they're not going with that at all.
Yeah, it
seems like stubbornness.
Very baffling. It just I don't get it. I don't get it why they continue to talk themselves into just immediately giving Norris the keys to the bus. Why? I know he had a good preseason. I know they think that he can be a first-line center, but guys, like, what are we doing? You could build when your center spine was Norris, then Kulik, then McLeod. That was maybe the worst 1-2-3 combo in hockey. Now, if Tage Thompson's your first-line center, if Ryan McLeod or Josh Norris, your second and third line centers. Okay, now we can do this. Now you have a conceivably pretty good spine of centers. And you're back to stacking the first line again. It's dumb. Don't agree with it. I think it's very dumb. Dumb decision. But hey, maybe it'll work. If Josh Norris comes back and he's great, if we get preseason Norris, cool. But I just feel like it's gonna annoy me. I mean, it just moving Thompson back to wing just made no sense. Unless he's hurt. If he's hurt, he's hurt. But I don't know. I don't get any inclination of that. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow, or we'll see what happens Monday.
Yeah. How about the other lineup decision that's been pretty frustrating? The Byram-Timmins pair has been getting annihilated out there.
I think we recorded like the day after, the day of, we saw lines drop, and we saw that Timmins was next up to be on babysitter duty with Byram, and we were like, good luck. It's a tough assignment, and it's been a tough assignment. Those two have not been good together, whatsoever. It's been rough.
It's weird too, because it's not like Power is playing with Kesselring, where it would make more sense, honestly, to have Byram and Timmins together. You're almost kind of forced to do that with how good Samuelson's been playing with Dahlin, and if Power and Kesselring were playing really good together, you kind of have to do that. Power's playing with Jacob Bryson right now. Why? How have you not switched the bottom two pairs up at all when one of them has been atrocious?
Beats me. It just has not worked. I don't know why they have not switched it up. It has not worked. I'm trying their goals. I'm trying to pull up their goals per 60 super quickly. Their goals against per 60. They are. Yeah, so they are worst on the team. There are 4 pairs that have been worse than them at goals against per 60. None of them have played more than 20 minutes. It's Dahlin and Metza, who've played 4 minutes, Timmins and Bryson, who've played 6 minutes, Bryson and Kesselring, who got 20 minutes, and then Byram and Metza, who got 10 minutes. Bowen Byram and Connor Timmins have played nearly 160 minutes of ice time together, and they are averaging 4.8 goals against every hour.
Oh my God, I didn't realize they've played that long.
Atrocious. I'll try to I'm going to try and scale that to the league for 100 for pairs that have played 150 minutes together. I want to know where they rank. That is, I don't know why it hasn't. I thought it did on Friday. I thought it did last night, to be honest. I saw Byram and Power were out there together in the second period for I thought more than one shift. But then in the third period, I looked over again, and Byram and Timmins were taking a defensive zone draw. So I don't think they really switched it up. Yep, they are second worst. Second worst for defensive pairs that have played 150 minutes together in hockey. They are second worst at goals against per hour. Do you want to take a crack at who's first? It's a Detroit pair. You might not get one of the players, but you'll probably be able to get the other.
I was actually gonna guess a Detroit pair. I was gonna say Hamonic, and I don't know who else he'd be playing with, but Hamonic's got to be one of them.
Yeah, he is. It's Hamonic and Albert Johansson. That's their worst.
Literally, my mind
nearly 5 goals against per hour. Jesus,
that's crazy. How many?
A lot of minutes.
How many pairs is this out of? Does it say?
Let's see. Scroll down the list. Looks like about 77 pairs have played together, so they are 76th.
That's really bad.
Yeah,
I don't know why. It's like I said, if you're forced into that when Kesselring, if your top two pairs are playing very good with Kesselring up there, I guess I kind of get it. But right now with Kesselring hurt, I don't think there's any reason to be putting out that third pair. And I think in particular, I still feel like Timmins has been fine. Like I'm still really not too upset with Timmins, but Byram's had it. He started off the season good, like we even gave him props, but since then, like he had I think I would say he had a rough November. Like I think the first half of the season was pretty good, but
as soon as
he's
he
been
got
struggling.
I mean, his great start, he was with a struggling Rasmus Dahlin, but it seems like as soon as those two kind of broke up, like it's been pretty bad.
Wasn't
or at least
he with Samuelson for a while?
Was he?
Because it was Power and Timmins started the season with Kesselring out, and then was it Dahlin and
maybe because Power was out that first weekend or whatever.
I forget what the actual pairs were, but
I don't know. It's been rough. Like you said, it's been a rough November. I mean, Timmins is even. It's funny they got traded for each other. He has very bad moments, just like Clifton. Just he has passes where it's like, what are you doing?
He definitely does.
Just clearing the puck out to the front of the net for an outlet while completely hemmed in the zone. He does very dumb things, but
he has rough moments.
Byram is willing.
Fine overall.
Byram is going. He's willing to go bar for bar with that. He will do something just as dumb, or just I mean, he literally got the puck taken off his stick once in the was it the New Jersey game? I think it was. Yeah, it's been rough, and they just you can see it. They just do not complement each other well, and like you said, it's not like yes, Matthias Samuelsson needs to be in the top 4. He needs to be on the top pair with how good he's playing. And, Kesselring's the same. Like, if he was healthy, he needs to be in the top 4, but he's not healthy. Jacob Bryson's in your top 4 right now. You should be looking for a different combination.
Where's, if you still have that list pulled up, I'm curious where Power and Timmins actually rank together.
Did they?
I feel like they were actually decent.
Did I see them on here?
They were definitely
I don't
together
know
for a while. I thought
I did feel that way. Maybe they just missed the threshold. The only Buffalo pairs to play 150 minutes. Do you want to guess? There's 2. There's only 2. One of them was Byram and Timmins. So who's the other?
Is it Dahlin and Samuelson?
Yeah, that's it. So I'll have to let me just take out the minutes. Just see where the other pairs were. I mean, that's crazy. They feel like they just got paired together too.
I know,
pretty recently.
That's why I hesitated. I was like, they really haven't played that long together. But I guess Dahlin does play like 25 minutes a game, so it would only take a few games to actually get to that threshold.
Yeah. Okay, so they missed it by 23 seconds. They play 149 minutes, 37 seconds together. So I will backpedal the time on ice requirement by a minute and then see how that ranks. All right, let's see. Goals against per hour. Power and Timmins ranks. Doesn't look good. I'm scrolling down. 54th.
Okay, I was gonna guess,
middle
of the
half.
pack.
2.86 goals against per hour, as opposed to 4.8 with Timmins and Byram.
Yeah, that was
Bit of a
honestly gonna be
jump
my
there.
guess. Like middle of the pack. I mean, out of probably 80 pairs, so I mean that's a little below.
Yeah, it's up to 78. So yeah, it's low. It's on the lower side. But yeah, it was definitely a much better pair.
I don't even know what the best pairs would be right now, because even like I'm thinking, just put Power and Timmins back together, but then you're doing Bryson and Byram, and I think that's pretty brutal. Like I think if you really want to maximize, you might have to actually split up Dahlin and to Samuelson.
Yeah, at this point I probably would. Dahlin's back to himself. Like he looks great. Um, it's probably one of the better top pairs in hockey now that Samuelsson is carrying his load of things. I would probably give Timmins back to Power, give Samuelsson to Bryson, or give Samuelsson to Byram, and then go Dahlin Bryson maybe.
Yeah.
Do that for a stretch, see how that works. I don't know. You can't continue with what you got right now if you want to win games.
Yeah, it's basically just one pair is playing really good.
Yeah,
I mean,
thought
Power.
I think
They've
I don't
been
think Power
fine.
Bryson. I think it's been fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been fine. But I feel like
Agreed.
both of them, with how they are, they do both have their moments. So I guess they've been fine. But I guess you have one good pair right now. I'll put it at that.
All right. Anything else from this past slate of games? It's pretty cool to see Tage get into that fight with Nason. I thought, good for him.
Yeah.
I saw people saying like, I can't believe somebody didn't do it for him. So I was very glad to see the quote where he said guys were coming up to him asking if they could fight him, and he said he wanted to do it himself. So that was cool to read. He did well. First fight of his career. I thought I think he got at least one lick in, and then obviously powered him down to the ice.
First fight of his career?
Or first fight where he did well. First fight where he did well.
Okay, I was going to say. Yeah. Yeah, no, he did pretty. I mean, he had motivation, so he had all of it behind him.
Yeah.
Did we really not face the Devils again last year? Like, wasn't that?
That was the last, because they played him in Prague. They played him 3 times last year. 2 of them were across seas.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
So, yeah. Good. Very cool moment.
Good for him.
Rallied the troops, clearly.
Yeah. I think someone tweeted out, I'm glad Tage got his fight in for a 5-1 loss. And that was like in the first period. Like they're just predicting that. And yeah, it actually happened.
Yep. But cool. Cool nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? Power play continues to be god-awful. Do they have a goal this week?
Yeah, wasn't... I think
they did. The Pittsburgh goals were
Pittsburgh was.
Was it?
I think the second unit, didn't they have one really good play?
Was it a goal?
I mean, they're at 21st. So they went up from last week where they were at like 24th. So
damn, when did they score a goal? Had to have been the Pittsburgh game.
Pittsburgh, unless it could have been the Hurricanes, but I thought it was Pittsburgh.
Maybe it was. Yeah, I mean, well, the Hurricanes game was the. They went it was like a tic-tac-toe by the second unit.
Yeah, I guess it was actually. They did not score this week. It was the Hurricanes game.
Yep. God. Yeah, it's been another rough week. They have been bad.
Yeah.
Status quo though, pretty status quo. Like nothing. There's nothing really new to report there.
Yeah.
Would you say they were at 21st? How did they go up? How is that even possible? They went over this week.
Probably less opportunities compared
Seth
to other teams.
Seth Appert's calling the league offices. It's like paying for bots. Well, they are involved in it's a 3-way tie right now. 3 teams are tied at 16.7. Jesus, 16% power play. You cannot win games with that.
No.
Jesus, Dallas is at 31.8. My God.
That's one of the other frustrating things about. I don't know if that's more on Lindy or if that's more on Seth Appert, but power play, going back to what, just putting Norris in that spot and expecting that to save everything when Roseanne and Olsen both had their moments. Like, that's another point of frustration I could put up with Lindy or Appert, whoever that is. They're being frustratingly stubborn with the shitty power play unit.
I don't know. I don't even we've seen. It feels like every combo possible this year. So I'm just over it. They putting Norris up there and expecting that to solve things is it's dumb. It's not going to do that. But if anything, it'll force them into worse habits because they'll have him taking one-timers. But yeah, I mean, I'm over it. It's just bad. It's bad. It's bad until they make a change, a philosophical change. It's bad until Seth Appert is no longer in charge of it. So That's really where that's at.
But PK still doing its thing. They're down to second.
They dropped.
That also has to be because of opportunity. Because they didn't. I just checked. They didn't let up a power play goal this week.
No.
And going into the week, if you remember my season preview, Penguins were first in the league at the time. New Jersey was 10th in the league at the time, and Minnesota was 5th in the league at the time. So they faced 3 top 10 power play units and did not let a goal in.
Yep.
So PK still
I appreciate. I said to you the other night. I appreciate the goaltending turning into prime Dominik Hasek every time they go on the PK, and then just reverting to not that at 5v5.
Hey,
I appreciate it.
Goaltenders are part of the PK too.
I appreciate it. I mean, they have to be at like a. I'm gonna look right now. I gotta see what their save percentage is on the. It has to be like 970. It has to be stupidly high. It is the highest in the NHL. It is 937. 937 save percentage on the power play.
Show up when they need to, I guess.
Yeah. Let's see. All right. Anything else? Anything else from these games?
No, nothing about the team, at least.
Okay. It's not really much else to touch on this week. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Any other notes that I had?
I can't think of anything. It was a pretty uneventful week for the most part.
I agree. That's weird for us. This might go under 2 hours.
It might go under an hour 30. It'll probably be close to that, actually.
Yeah. All right. Well, Christian's not here this week, but we do have a very important food review. Well, we have an important review to make about some Buffalo Sabres concessions. We were both in attendance on Friday, separately, but we were both there. And we did it. We grabbed it. We got the Beer Sabre. The Beer Sabre was acquired.
I wish I had mine in my hand too.
Why would you not bring it with you?
I didn't know.
You don't want to show it off?
I forgot about that.
Look at this.
Yep.
It's so cool. I'm so glad I got one.
It is.
I'm so glad.
Concessions have been on point. Like that. It is very cool. That is something where people will buy it. They'll wait in a line for 45 minutes for it. God damn it! I mean, it's very
Jesse and I
cool.
were talking. Can we bring this back in? I feel like you should be allowed to bring it back in.
I don't think they do refills, or I would imagine they don't do refills.
That's so dumb. It's not like how many times are you just gonna be drinking this like around the house? I mean, I guess I'll make an effort too.
No, I think you might as well. I mean, why not? Pour a few beers into it, watch a game. It's not even like I was kind of thinking like it's gonna be inconvenient to drink out of, but honestly, it really wasn't
that bad. It's bad for chugging. It's bad for chugging.
Anybody who's put on the jumbo trying to chug, like you're just spilling it all over yourself.
Some dude he nailed it down. I was very impressed.
Yeah, one guy did.
He had a good level. Would have put it at, get a consistent flow going down.
You have to take your time. You can't just turn it upside down.
Yeah, it's not just like a regular like shotgun where you're just turning the beer upside down. It's you got to be careful with it. But if you're drinking it regularly, it's a nice. It's not totally inconvenient or tough. I guess it gets tough when it's like towards empty, and you really got to start.
Yeah.
Going towards like 90 degrees.
You basically do have to hold it the whole time. I mean, it does technically stand on its own, like it can, but you probably don't.
I did put it in the cup holder for like a little bit,
okay.
But I still had to like hold it.
Yeah. I was in the 300s. So I
was gonna say
cup holder, but I guess
poverty,
that makes sense.
Yeah, you're in the poverty 300s, so
hey,
you don't get the cool stuff.
We were
down the
center ice at top. It was great seats.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Beer Sabre itself, very, very, very cool. Worth it in terms of like what it actually is, and it's it's plastic, so it's not really gonna. I don't think it's really gonna break easily. It's not like paper mache or I don't know, some like soft material. Like JP said, it stands on its own. I got it standing right next to me. So that's the good. The bad. JP did not wait in line for his Beer Sabre.
Nope.
I
Jonah
did.
was already in line.
I did. If you've been reading their social media, and I'm sure a lot of you know this, you maybe already have one, or you've even checked out, or you've tried to like get a look at acquiring one, and then you realize halfway through the game the line is wrapped around halfway around the arena because they're only selling these things at one location. Section 119.
One of the dumbest decisions.
I could not. We got into the building. I was there with one of my buddies.
We walked in together. It was
it's all right. Yeah, we walked in together, and we saw this big line, and I just thought to myself, I'm like, "There's no way, right?" 'Cause it was like 15 minutes before puck drop. I mean, I know we didn't get there super early, but
for reference, we saw this line going to the right of the escalators. So we were going to go
towards
right
yeah.
to
if you come in like the Harbor Center entrance side, and you go right from there to the 100s concourse, that's where like the line started, like at the beginning of the hallway.
I think it even went further. Like it was probably more towards like the middle, where it like opens up to go to that other bar and where they have bands play sometimes. Like it was.
Yeah, it was past the 1970 club. It was a long ass line before the game started, and we were curious, like because we walked the whole thing. Me and my buddy, we walked it to make sure. We're like, "There's no way this goes all the way, does it?" And it did. It went all the way down to the line, and at that point, I was like, "Well, I didn't want to miss puck drop." So me and my buddy went and sat down, and JP and his went up to the 300s, and I told myself it's probably gonna. I was gonna check it out at another point, just to see how it was. So I went at the second media timeout of the first period, and the line had not changed. Or it maybe had even gotten longer. But it was at that point where I'm just like, screw it, I'm gonna wait for it, and I did. We got in line at 4:30. I told JP, because you're allowed to buy two at once. I told him I would get one for him, and we got out of line at 5:15. It was a 45-minute wait to get a Beer Sabre during the middle of the game. So like you can say like that. Well, of course it's going to be a longer wait. Well, yeah, but like if you're selling it at one location, some dude he made me laugh. He like. I don't know if he got out of line or he was just walking the opposite way of the line. He was damn near in tears. He's like, I can't believe they're only selling these at one location. This is ridiculous.
I was getting to the point where I was like, if you didn't call me, because me and my buddy, we actually got back in line, but we were like, it's gotten even longer, I think. I was getting to the point where I was like, honestly, it's not worth it. Like, I don't like not being in my seat for a game, and I just didn't feel like missing anything. Luckily, Jonah was able to get it for me, but I could not believe they're only selling it at one spot. I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, I know that I get it in terms of like that's the big Labatt spot where they sell their beer, but there's got to be a better plan than that. I mean, it's ridiculous. I don't think anybody's taken a video of the line yet. Maybe they did the Friday they debuted them, but like I said, it's a long ass line. It went between sections. The line started at like section 4, and so like it went the direction of going
4?
Or aisle 4. So it went 4, but then went back 4, 3, 2, 1, and then it resets to 24. So I think it went like all the way to 20. Like it stretched like 8 aisles.
Yeah,
it was a long line.
It's really dumb. And I mean, obviously, I wasn't in line, so I wasn't able to see how long it takes to pour it. But I would imagine it takes some time to pour it too.
It took like a minute.
Part of it.
Well, then that's the big. I was joking about it. It's like there's a lot of pressure on the pour because you don't want to, it to be like all foam. They're professionals. They know what they're doing, but they have to be careful. So like it takes a minute or so to do that. So yeah, Beer Sabre 10 out of 10. Waiting experience for the Beer Sabre 0 out of 10. I felt like I was in line at Disney.
Yeah, there's no reason it shouldn't be sold at other locations.
Oh,
like, yeah, it's really dumb.
And no season ticket discount allowed when you're paying for it. Ridiculous. That is beyond dumb. What are we paying the team thousands of dollars for? That's one of the perks. Why is this not included?
Yep.
I laughed it off in the moment, but I was like, oh, of course. Of course. Why would it? Why would you get the discount with it? No, you gotta pay full price like everybody else. Whatever. I don't mind the price itself. It's just why is there no ticket discount allowed?
Yeah.
Dumb.
Really, really poor execution. Great idea. Poor execution.
Well, great execution. I still think this thing I fully recommend.
Yeah.
Just get there early. Folks, if you want this, get there early.
Yeah.
My buddy, I saw some friends of mine in line, and then I saw another one. They got one. The line was moving at a decent rate. It slowed down like during intermission, so I don't know if people were like cutting or I don't know. Just get if you want the Beer Sabre on a Friday or Saturday, get there an hour before the game. Do not get there, 20, even a half hour. It might be like a little bit of like a 20-minute-ish wait. Mm-hmm. So yeah, very dumb.
Yeah. Sell in other spots and you solve the issue. I will say, with how long the line was for, I think they cut it off in the third period. I want to say I heard someone say that.
I think they stopped selling beers in the third.
Yeah. So I don't know. You had they would have opened at 6 from probably, or actually no, there was a 4 o'clock.
4
game.
o'clock
So they
game,
opened at 3. They probably stopped selling around 5:45. So for probably 2 of those hours, the line was massive. I am impressed that they did not run out of anything.
Me too. They clearly have a lot of them.
I was genuinely worried about that, seeing how long the line was.
I was worried too. I did not know how many of these they'd have in store. But, yeah, I still think they must have ordered like, I don't know, maybe like 20,000 of these or so. So, that's just an absolute guess. It could be double that. It could be triple that. I don't know.
They're doing it the rest of the season, so it does.
Well, until they run out,
it's got to be a lot. Yeah.
So. Yeah, and full props to the workers. They were doing a great job shuffling people in and out. They had like 5 people working. They had like 5 or 6 registers working there. So good stuff from them.
Was the line going both ways, by the way, or was it all just one way?
It was all one way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just sell it at more spots. It doesn't even sound like, I think you said they don't even put it right from the tap into it. They pour it into a pitcher and then pour it into.
They're using like a pitcher.
It's not like maybe the blue zone was the only theoretical location you could even pour it in. It sounds like
it's not like they're not
anywhere.
Yeah, it's not like they're like pouring it on tap or something. Like
Yeah.
you just had to fill flasks of a blue light.
Yeah, unless the only thing I can think of is maybe that's the only spot where they can actually have enough beer held on site. Because obviously, if they're pouring out of the tap,
they did. I did see 2 kegs roll by at one point.
Yeah, so maybe that's part of it.
I get it. I don't know. If
At
that's
least
the
have,
case,
2 spots. I don't know.
Yeah, just one more spot.
Just one
more spot.
Just one.
Spread it out, because then it's 2 20-minute waits after that.
Yeah,
which is like I think pretty fair.
Yeah, like you have the bar.
There's another bar on the other side. You pass a blue light, or you pass a Labatt zone like on the way to the big one, and I was like, why did they not just like put a couple hundred over here?
Yeah,
I don't know,
but whatever. Overall, still a great thing. Concessions are still killing it.
Agreed. So Beer Sabre, like I said, 10 out of 10, worth it. The wait was 0 out of 10. So does that? I would average that out to like an 8.5 experience.
Fair enough. I mean, hey, I didn't have to wait in the line, so
Yeah,
I don't know
exactly.
how that actually was. We just sat down.
We struck up some conversation with some people. I mean, we were all joking, like, this is a ridiculous, because they had some people, because we were wondering, because it's not like, I was joking about Disney. Like, if you're in Disney, you'll get like a checkpoint. We're like, oh, or like when you hop into a Disney line from the entrance, it'll say like 45, 50-minute wait. We didn't know at first, but then there were people holding signs. One said 20 minutes, and it took 20 minutes for 10 minutes to go by at one point. So they were lying at one point.
I was gonna say, because even when I texted you, I was getting to the point where I was like, the second period's about to start. Like, how much longer is it gonna take? And you kept saying like, oh, we're almost done, almost done.
It was lying to the fans to keep us hopeful, which worked.
Yeah.
There was no better feeling than being next up. I felt like a little kid. I felt like a little kid at Disney. Like, oh my God, I'm next. So
Glad we just got to purchase it one time. That's all I needed.
that's all I need. Yeah, that's all I need. I have it forever. All right. On that note, we'll have to wait for Christian's review. I mean, feels wrong to do a Christian cafeteria segment without Christian, but
This one was necessary.
This one was necessary. He doesn't have a Beer Sabre yet. I don't think he does. And he's out doing he's getting more food reviews ready. He was in Pittsburgh tonight at the Bills game. So
hopefully
he's bringing back something.
Yeah. Hopefully he is. But he
we'll
was there
see.
in Pittsburgh.
All right. On that note, we'll move on. JP, you're up. Weekly preview. Big week for the Sabres ahead.
The Sabres are at home against Winnipeg. They're at Philadelphia, and then they are at Winnipeg. So this will actually be a little bit quicker of a preview because I'm really only previewing two teams. So the Sabres play at home against Winnipeg tomorrow night, Monday night at 7:30, and this will be on MSG. I am actually going to change up the order of how I am doing the season preview a little. I just want to move it around. So if you're a regular listener, you might notice a little difference. So the Jets are 13-11-0, fifth in the Central. They won their last game, which was against Nashville, so not really an impressive win, but they did win. But they lost the 4 games before that to Carolina, Minnesota, Washington, and Carolina again. So they're not playing the best. But like I mentioned earlier in the episode, they are missing their best player, but they're not playing their best. They do play Montreal on Wednesday in between playing us on Monday and Friday. Their power play is currently tied for 10th in the league at 22.7, and their PK is 6th at 84.5. So they have top half of the league penalty special teams as well. Anticipated goaltender matchup, it's going to be Colton Ellis, just because of he won the last game, and that's what they've been doing. And then Eric Comrie has been playing most of the games because of Connor Hellebuyck being on IR. Hellebuyck hasn't played since November 15th. Comrie has played 5 of 6 since then. And the current backup is Tomek Milik. Comrie this year is 5-4-0. He has an 898, a 2.91 goals against, and he is dead even at goal save above expected.
That is an Eric Comrie stat line if I've ever heard one.
Yep. If he's the backup, like I think I said earlier in the season, like Comrie's numbers were very good. If he's a backup, his number is going to be good. But if he's a starter, he's just going to be a replacement level goaltender.
Mm-hmm.
Milik has only played 1 game. He lost that game. He is 882, 4.09 goals against, and a -1 goal save above expected. So I would almost guarantee we're probably going to see Comrie both these games. I'm adding an injury segment into this. Their current injuries are Connor Hellebuyck. He's a knee injury. He's expected to return in January. And their other 2 injuries are Neil Pionk.
Pionk,
And Pionk and Hayden Fleury. Fleury's been out since the 13th, and Pionk only missed Saturday, but they're both expected to return against us. So their really only big injury is Hellebuck. And obviously, I mean, he is the Winnipeg Jets. He's the best goaltender in the league.
Neil Pionk. Pionk.
Mark Scheifele is having a very good start to the year. He has 13 goals and 18 assists in 24 games. He's on pace for over 100 points, and his career high was last year with 87 points. So he is their top producer this year. He is playing with Kyle Connor and Gabriel Velarde, who are their other two top producers. So that top line is really doing work for them right now. Kyle Connor has 12 goals and 17 assists. Gabriel Velarde has 11 goals and 10 assists. So all of them have at least 21 points. And Josh Morrissey, one of the better defensemen in the league, has 18 assists and 23 points in 24 games. So he's almost at a point per game. Off-season addition, Jonathan Toews. He's playing on the fourth line and has 3 goals and 6 assists in 24 games.
He also, I believe, has some of the worst underlying stats in hockey. I saw one floating around today. I think it was one from Micah's model. Brutal. Has him as like a below fourth line level player. He's, it was always going to be tough. He hasn't played hockey in 3 years. But, it's been pretty rough.
Yeah. Was honestly a weird move by Winnipeg to.
Well, it's tough
bring
to.
in.
It's tough to bring in big
contract?
names. I mean, yeah, I think so. I don't know. Let me see. I mean, look, it's tough to bring in names to Winnipeg. So, if he's from your hometown, you might as well take advantage of that. He signed a 1-year, $2 million contract.
Okay, fair enough. I thought
Which includes up to $5 million in performance bonuses. Jesus, I do not remember that.
He's not hitting that. He's playing on the fourth line.
Unless it's a game total, he is not hitting any.
Yeah. So, Toews isn't playing the best. He's on the fourth line. But it will be weird seeing him in a different uniform. 2022 second-round pick, Elias Salamonson. He made his debut this past week. He played in 2 of the 3 games this week, so we might see him. He is a defenseman. And then they also just recently extended their captain, Adam Lowry, to a 5-year extension.
That was also a very interesting move. 5 years for a 32-year-old, I think. 31-year-old, maybe. Adam Lowry is 32.
Yeah. And
interesting commitment.
I didn't look at his point total, but I don't think it was the best.
No, I mean, he's a bottom 6 forward.
Yeah. He's 3 points in 12 games.
Oh, that's even worse than I thought.
12
games? Was he been hurt?
That's what I'm looking at. Yeah, it looks like he must have been hurt in October. He played, his first game was the 4th, and it looks like he's played in every game since.
No.
But yeah, 3 points. He has one goal, 2 assists. Pretty rough for a 5-year extension. They only have one former Sabre, and that is Colin Miller. He's still kicking it. He has no points and is a -4 in 9 games. I think he's just been in and out of the lineup from what I can tell.
Key to the game is to watch your face when he is taking a slap shot.
Yeah, or watch anything. I mean, he loves shooting into your
He loves to shoot, yeah.
Yeah. My key to both these games, honestly, is to try and shut down that top line. That is most of their production. I didn't look at their power play. If they have a bunch of power play points. No, they really don't, any of those 3 guys. So they're putting up points at 5-on-5. So if you can shut down that line, you're probably going to shut down a lot of what they could bring. So try and do that. And then obviously take advantage of not having to face the best goalie in the league at all this year. These are, at the very minimum, you got to take one of these games against Winnipeg. But, I mean, really, try and take both. You're going to be facing a backup in Eric Comrie, who has played a lot recently. So yeah, that is Monday at 7:30. Then the Sabres start a 6-game, 13-day road trip with Philadelphia, which is Wednesday at 7:30. This is a TNT and or HBO Max game, so this will not be on MSG. The Flyers are 14-7-3, fourth in the Metropolitan. They're currently on a 3-game winning streak. They beat Florida, the Islanders in a shootout, and New Jersey, and they do face Pittsburgh at home on Monday before us. So they're playing pretty good. I mean, they're 14-7, so they're having a pretty solid year. Their power play is 19th in the league at 17.5%. Penalty kill is 85.1%, which is fourth in the league, which is actually close to rivaling our percentage. Goaltender matchup, who knows? Depends if Ellis wins the first game against us. But Philly's starter right now is Dan Vladar, and their backup is Samuel Urson. Dan Vladar was signed this offseason. He might be one of the best signings of the offseason with how he is playing. He is 10-4-1, 912 save percentage, 2.43 goals against, and according to Money Puck, he's as 11.3 goals save above expected, which is 7th in the league. So he was a massive
Goalies,
signing
man.
for them.
Goalies.
Yeah, it's
Goalies.
coming out to be the best year of his career so far, and Philly hasn't had good goaltending since the whole, Carter Hart shit went down. So
What happened?
Vladar has definitely been a part of this.
Yeah, Evolving Hockey has him 9th, but they also have him at 12.5 saved above expected.
Yeah. So having a very good year. Urson, on the other hand, he's 4-2-2, an 859, 3.09 goals against, and negative 2.9 goals save above expected, which is 12th worst. There are injuries. One big one. Rasmus Ristolainen has actually not played in a game this year.
Damn.
He could return this week, though.
Really?
So it would be poetic. I was looking at. I was looking at for my injury list. At. Oh crap! What's the new site called that we use now? I don't know why I can't think of it right now.
For what? Streaming wise?
No, for like contracts and everything. I don't know why.
Puckpedia.
Yeah, Puckpedia. Puckpedia had him returning December 1st, which would be tomorrow.
There you go.
So he could return this week. It's a tricep injury. So he was placed on IR at the very beginning of the year, I believe. And same with Oliver Bonk. He has not played in a game this year, but he could also return this week. So they could have two defensive men to come back. Their big storyline is for this offseason and even going into this year, they traded for Trevor Zegras this offseason for Ryan Poling, a second rounder of this past draft, and a fourth round in this next year's draft. He is at a point per game and leading the team in points so far. He has 9 goals and 15 assists. It's safe to say that the trade has worked out so far for them, and Trevor Zegras finally got a change of scenery, which was much needed, and he's actually playing up to probably his potential now. Travis Konecny has 19 points. Owen Tippett has 17 points. Michkov has, I'm not even going to try and pronounce his first name. Michkov has 8 goals and 6 assists in 24 games. So he's not having the best year, I guess, at least considering the expectations that have obviously been placed on Michkov. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't there something with him reporting to camp? Like, wasn't he like overweight or something?
Apparently he
out
was.
of shape?
Yeah, apparently he gained a bit of weight. So.
Yeah.
So.
He's 14
He's also,
points in 24.
Well, yeah, and Rick Tocchet has not exactly been known as a coach to foster growth from young players. So there's that as well.
Yeah. So, hey, he's still a guy that you probably got to look out for because he has that skill. He's supposed to be one of the better young players in the league, but just hasn't really shown out yet. And I remember looking at the lines, but I don't remember. I think he's playing on the third line too. Like I don't think he's with Zegras or Konechny or any of them. So he's not really being given the best opportunity, it seems like.
No.
Former Sabres, Risto hasn't played a game, and then Nicolas Deslauriers is still on an NHL roster. He has 0 points and is a -2 in 11 games. My key of this game is if Risto does return, don't let him score.
I want him to score. I will always root for that guy to score against us. Love Risto.
I'll always root for Risto.
I hope they make the playoffs this year. I kind of do. He needs a playoff game. Nobody deserves it more than that guy. I think he has the longest drought now. I believe he's number 1 in the league.
Yeah, that's true, because it was Skinner and Gergensen's up there, so yeah, it's got to be Risto. Yeah, I mean, they're playing good, so we'll see if they can keep that up for the whole year. I mean, we'll see if Dan Vladar can keep his good play up for the whole year. My other key to this game is don't let Zegras do any trickery. I mean, he's playing very good right now. And this was Jonah's suggestion, which is a great point.
Hold on. No bullshit that I have to see for like the next 2 years.
Yeah.
On social media every day.
Yeah. No
God, that was so
flip
bad.
pass or whatever.
Such an overrated assist, too.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. But then this was Jonah's suggestion, which is a good one. Don't go to a shootout against this team because Trevor Zegras,
that one I'll play. Yeah. Apparently some people want to take him to the Olympics for that alone. If Tage Thompson does not go because of that, that might be it for me. That would be it. Or could you imagine the U.S. going like 11-7 or I don't know, just to like some type of bullshit, like lineup bullshit like that, just to get him into the lineup, not play him at all, and just put him in for the shootout?
Yeah.
That'd be horrible.
Yeah. So, yeah, I couldn't really think of a good key to this game. Just don't let Zegras walk all over you, I guess. And then the Sabres play at Winnipeg Friday at 7 p.m., and this will be on MSG. They have off Saturday and Sunday after this, so they do have 2 days of rest, but then they do have a back-to-back Monday, Tuesday. So don't got anything else for this game since I already previewed them. So they play Winnipeg Monday at 7:30 at Philadelphia Wednesday 7:30. This is on TNT. And then Winnipeg Friday at 7 p.m. Let's try and actually, win 2 of 3 games this week or something.
No, let's try to win 3 games in a row.
Well, that's also a good.
We have not had a winning streak all season.
If they win 2 of 3, they would be at 500. So let's see if they could actually get over 500 this week. Again, I mean, honestly, Winnipeg without their best player being their goalie. Those are 2 games you probably got to take, and Philly's been playing very good, but gotta try.
Conceivably should be a good week. Conceivably should be a good week.
2 of the games are on the road, so
yeah, it is a big week. Yeah. Those Winnipeg games are must wins if you're serious about being a playoff team, and I mean this whole stretch, your next 4 games you should win if you want to be a serious playoff team. But that is usually not how the week goes. So
it's not how the Sabres operate.
No,
we don't do that around here.
We don't do that here. So, besides that, I should probably go look to see how those other games ended. Ottawa did not win. Got throttled by Dallas. So yeah, the Sabres will enter December 4 points out of last place, 5 points out of a playoff spot.
And no regulation road win.
Yep. Let's see. They have 2 wins on the road this year. That is last in the league. The only team to have 3 is Toronto. That's it. It's them in Toronto.
Good company to be in.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that's where we're at. All right. I mean, looking ahead here, should be back with you next Sunday to recap this past week of games. So look forward to that. Yeah, big week. If they want to be serious about getting back into this race, it's got to happen at some point. You know, you are only 5 points out, but you also have like 6 teams to leapfrog if you want to get there. And Philly's one of them.
Big week ahead.
So, yeah. Yeah. I think that'll do it. All right. So, until next time, thank you very much for listening. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at the Sabre Report. Also on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube at the Sabre Report. If you listen to this on YouTube, thank you very much for listening. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Tell us what you thought down in the comments below. We always read them. And go give our friends over at the Buffalo Sports Talk podcast a listen. Gritty win by the Bills today in Pittsburgh. Needed that one bad to not... They would have been out of playoff position today had they lost. So, big win for positioning. Depending on what happens tomorrow in the Monday night game, the division might be back in play. So, something to look forward to. So, they'll have that game recap done. They do great stuff over there. So, guys over at the Buffalo Sports Talk podcast, give them a listen. But, that'll do it. We'll see everybody next time. Take care. And as always, go Sabres.
Go Sabres.